So it's a waning half moon and the sunrise. And we're at the Mount Zion gate in Jerusalem, here at the area of the Last Supper room, the upper room, the Cinacolino of the Franciscans here, and just outside the Dormitio. It's a nice brisk morning. The rain is over, the sun is shining on the walls of Jerusalem. It's good to be here, and there's the Dormition. We won't go in there today, okay, because I want to do another track today for you. But let's head out, let's head on the road. So we're just going away a little bit from the walls of this old city. We're outside the old city on the south side, looking east. And you can actually see the mountains of Moab. We'll focus in there in a little bit. Here's a praying Jewish man. Come on, camera. What's going on here? Something not behaving here. We'll get it straightened out here. There we go. There are the 10 Commandments. There's a nice line for today. In memory of my beloved mother. That's beautiful, isn't it? In memory. In memory of my beloved mother. I remember my mother too. My father. May the Lord have them in glory. And there's the Tower of the Dormition. Once there's a Jewish man praying up here on the parapet. It's also a very nice view. We did sunrise stroll and chat up there one morning a while ago. So it's a very special day today. Well, every day is very special. Every day is an amazing gift, you know. So here is a sign for King David's tomb, which is actually a crusader structure. So about 800 years old, because son of David, Mount Zion. This was already called Mount Zion from Byzantine period, probably earlier. Mount Zion is actually originally the temple where God is, the Temple Mount, where Abraham and Isaac, all that memory. But then with the Last Supper here and the appearance to the 11 after the resurrection, and then Pentecost, then this became an incredibly conscious point for Christian memory, and the temple had been destroyed, so Mount Zion was particularly remembered and celebrated and cherished here, and the biblical texts read and pondered and assimilated. Isn't that what we do as well a little bit today? We read the texts in our stroll and chat, in our sunrise stroll and chat, and we ponder and assimilate them, or try, with God's grace. And here I just want to show you a nice little feature, although I should probably, oops, sorry about that people, I ran there and they was getting ahead of the traffic, come on, and the gimbal didn't like my behavior and went out of whack. And just speaking about the resurrection, here is a Christian burial ground on Mount Zion, the Catholic cemetery actually, and here is Oscar Schendel buried, who did so much good, saving lives in a disastrous time for humanity. And that nice ray of light coming in to endorse that. So I want to make a little bit of treks today. I want to do all this southern wall of the city and around a little bit further into the valley. Maybe somebody can guess why. The 26th of December has its own special dedication as a day, but liturgically today it's superseded by the Feast of the Family, because we dedicate the first Sunday after Christmas Day to ponder the family with very good reason. If you feel like you're in a train now, it's just because this railing here is... Oops, what's going on? Sorry people, I just touched the screen and it did a whole loop for me. I apologize. That's a pity. Going a little bit too fast probably for the gimbal. It's not used to this. There we are now. And we're passing by Peter and Gallicantu. And we're back into a better vision of the walls here. So our texts today are very beautiful. They are about the family. And if you really want to tell when there's family and when there isn't family, watch the response when there's a cry of pain. And if there are 20 different cries of pain, you'll notice 20 different families jumping into action. That child is crying, there's something wrong, and parents are immediately there, siblings are immediately there, grandparents are immediately there. There's something amazing about family. Now, God forbid, but if we hear about some train wreck or some explosion in some place, and we would like to know if there's anybody killed, because that makes us sad. But if the news says it's in a town where our relatives live, then we get really concerned and we start praying and we start making phone calls and we start sending text messages. Family is amazing. Family emerges, especially visibly and dramatically, when there's pain. It's a very good litmus test, because love is called, compassion is awakened. Now, compassion is awakened for all of us, hopefully, in front of all suffering. And that all shows that we all belong to a family, in the broader sense. But if your son or daughter marries somebody from Moscow or from Beijing, suddenly something happens in Beijing, you want to find out what's going on over there. Is my child's spouse's family okay? Family is amazing. And today we ponder family because of an even more amazing thing, that God came into family. He was born of woman, like the letter to the Galatians says. He had a mother. And a father does much more than biologically generate. Sometimes there are big deficiencies in that equation, but a father's a child is to raise a child, to be a father to a child. And we're talking here now, we use the word relative, we use the word mother, we use the word father. And it's interesting how, science is always very accurate in trying to be ever more accurate in finding the exact right name to define each different little thing, like which type of stone, basalt stone, limestone. I think it's all limestone here, but it's just darkened with smoke and soot from the exhaust and all the rest of it. But science wants to know the exact difference. It wants to know what's similar and wants to know what's different. And so today maybe we should be scientific also about the family, in the sense that brother and sister and aunt and uncle and grandmother and grandfather, what difference, The grandchild knows very much the difference between grandma and grandpa. And there are all these cousins, and second cousins. And in Ireland we had a first cousin once removed, first cousin twice removed. I won't go into explaining all that now, but you can smile if you remember those kind of words and connections. This is the Alexa Mosque, and now we're coming up to the Dung Gate. It's the first day of the week, so people are out going to work. The Shabbat is over. It's Sunday. This valley down to our right is just the continuation of the Kidron Valley. And that's where we're actually headed right now. We're going to keep walking around the walls in this beautiful morning. Actually you can see it in through the gate there. You can see the western wall. We were there yesterday, were we? Or was it yesterday? I think yesterday morning. So many things happen in a day. So you're looking in there to the western wall. And now we're coming down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on. Sorry about all those bounces around, people. Just probably jerking the gimbal a little too much. So then, the first big statement I made was, in moments of pain, family really, really dramatically comes out between the cracks. Family shows up. Family is there. And obviously family is not for just the times of pain. Family is for all of life. In fact, the entire scripture is articulated around family. From Adam and Eve, we have hopefully two good friends here, two siblings, you know. Father, son. And right up to the last chapter of the book of Revelation. It's all about family. It's a history of families. And it's one big family. And when the biggest cry of pain goes out, it's the Lord hears the cry of the poor. That is God responding to family, because God established the family. It's His family. We are made in His image and likeness. That child is a spitting image of their dad. That child is a spitting image of their mom. That child, I can see their grandmother in that child. You know these comments? And we're the spitting image of God, made in His image and likeness. So family doesn't happen just to happen to have become family. Family is something that emerges in the very work of creation. Hey, we got our bougainvilleas here. And our cactus. So this is the extraordinary gift of family. And the second reading is really worth pondering. There are many of the beautiful virtues of family life. The beautiful virtues of family life: kindness, gentleness, attention, care. It's really worth reading today. A lot of families there have a lot of problems. A lot of difficult history sometimes, very loaded, very charged. And that can be quite a burden. So I would say their families need time. And time is a reality that requires patience. Now we're looking more clearly into the Kidron Valley here. You can see how deep it is. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's a fox scurrying down the hill here. Well, I won't even wait for that now because our time is running tight. So the first reading also is a big call to honor father and mother. Our life is completely dependent on them. We began there and we developed there in their embrace and their goodness to us and their sacrifice. Caused them headaches. They were also failing in health at different times with flus and colds, and they still nursed us. To honor father and mother. And actually, that's the best way to love God. Isn't that amazing? Because God is so happy and He blesses those who recognize that extraordinary gift. Yeah, I see they did a very nice walkway up here through the cemetery. I wonder if I go up there. I think we leave that for another day to explore, because I really want to get to one spot for you today, and maybe you know why. I think you can recognize these places. It's a beautiful name here, right? Gate of Mercy. We're not going to go down. I want to stay up. So I'm not going to go down into Gethsemane right now. Have you figured out the reason we're coming this far? It's this spot over here in front of us. It's St. Stephen's Church. But before we get there, just wanted to mention the gospel. And we see when God comes into a family, normal life continues. I mean, what could be more God in the family than Jesus? Every child is in the image and likeness of God, so God enters every family through every child. Accepting that child is accepting God. Honoring God. Loving God. Here we have our lovely olive trees. And yet the parents, even though God is in their family, in such a powerful way, such a real way, and such a tangible way, they're walking by faith, and they have lots of difficulties. And the child disappears. They lost him. Imagine the worry when parents lose a child. And how they're frantically, as the words of Mary put it, we were searching for you. How could you do this to us? Did you not know? And here we see the challenge for parents in front of the mystery of their child, of every child. And each child growing into adulthood and responsibility. So I think we've gone pretty far along right now in our chat, and I think we'll just leave it like that for today. And I just arrived enough to see this spot, and underneath the traffic light, another 3 minutes walking, we have the memorial of Stephen's martyrdom. And today we also remember Stephen in his martyrdom. We pray for all those called Stephen and Steve and Stevie. And we enjoy being here in this wonderful place in Gethsemane. I encourage you to click on the link for the readings. It'll be posted also later in YouTube. And I'm going to do the Instagram live now. eKellyLC for all the new people who are with us. Jerusalem has amazing attraction for everybody, doesn't it? So we'll sign off now, people. It was just wonderful being with you. And we see the great witness that Stephen gave. When Jesus comes into the world, it's not just enough to see he's a nice guy, but there are huge consequences of love and fidelity. God bless you. See you later, alligators. Happy Christmas. Christmas is still on, even though the radio stations might switch the music today. God bless you from Jerusalem at sunrise.